Hey, this podcast holds nothing sacred. This is Life, Tech, and Sundry. And what is Sundry? It's our experiences put in a melting pot to the internet. So join us on this wild ride called the LTS Podcast. Follow us at LT Sundry on Twitter, LTS.pod on Instagram, Life, Tech, and Sundry on YouTube, and all your favorite podcast distribution services. Stay frosty.
Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Is this thing on? I think so. Ladies and gentlemen, I am yours truly, Marcos Lopez. And whenever you're listening to this episode, always a pleasure to have you back. And for this installment of LTS Out of Office Solo Edition, we're stepping into a space that feels a little different today. Have you ever been scrolling through your social media feed? For me in particular, YouTube Shorts. I know, I'm not addicted. And you run across a video. In my case, specifically YouTube Shorts, about a content creator that is no longer with us and stopped me specifically in my tracks. This episode goes out to all those creators who are no longer here in person, but I tell you, whose work is still traversing the internet, pulling views and gaining recognition every single day. As a creator myself, this hits a bit closer to home. And honestly, this is a conversation for everyone of all ages because we all share this digital space. This episode was inspired thanks to a specific YouTube short that will be linked in the description. So if you want to watch it, don't judge me. But it's a little bit of what's on my feed. Seeing that tribute really shifted my perspective. Today, we are recognizing those who have moved beyond our mortal coil. However, they remain a permanent, quote, ghost in the machine, end quote. Some might even say that legends never die. Kicking it off with Technoblade, the king of the north. Alex turned a terminal reality into a final masterclass of courage. A legacy so powerful that Mojang immortalized him with a permanent tribute on the Minecraft launcher splash screen. And within the game's very code, the silent boss fight. In August 2021, Alex was diagnosed with metastatic sarcoma. Damn, try to say that 3 times. Metastatic sarcoma. Don't want to be disrespectful, but I suck at reading, I guess. After seeking help for what he originally thought was a simple broken bone caused by shoulder pain and swelling. The final transmission. In June 2022, his passing was confirmed through his final video, quote, "So long, nerds," end quote, where his father read a moving goodbye recorded just hours before Alex passed away. A kingdom in the launcher. Mojang honored his impact by adding a crown to the pig in the Minecraft splash art. A rare, permanent, quote, Easter egg, end quote, that stands as a silent tribute to his dominance. $1 million impact. Beyond the gameplay, his influence raised over $1 million for the Sarcoma Foundation of America, proving that his fan base was a collective engine for real-world change. The ultimate pro-gamer move. He signed off with a defiant, quote, "So long, nerds," end quote, with the realization that even if he had another 100 lives, he'd choose to be Technoblade every single time because, quote, "Technoblade never dies." While Technoblade fought a quiet battle that ended in a global farewell, the gaming world has seen others use their platform to pull back the curtain on shared global crisis, receiving recognition from national media for their final act of service. We go with Basherverse. I'm not trying to say that there were, mind you, Technoblade and Basherverse, they are Minecraft content players. They were. I'd say some of the first, but I'm not saying that all these tributes are by Minecraft players. But right now, these are the first two that I really found and really wanted to share to you, dear listener, or viewer, wherever you're watching this episode. If you have a story, share it in the comments. Reach out. Links for the social media of the LTS podcast are in the description, so you know where to find me. Bashaverse, Advocacy from the Intense Care Unit, also known as the ICU. Toasty transformed his most vulnerable moments into a final, selfless by the way, stream, earning national media recognition for a legacy that turned a gaming platform into a global stage for public health advocacy. The last documentary, a dedicated 36-year-old Minecraft streamer Brandon Dylan Asher, aka Toasty as his handle, made the courageous choice to document his final struggles, by the way, after being admitted to the hospital in August 2021. The real-life debuff. He utilized his platform to describe the hellish nature of the disease. One more again. To describe the hellish nature of the disease, using his own deteriorating health as a raw, unfiltered lens for his audience before passing on September 12, 2021. August. Barely 30 days, I'd say. Maybe 30 days, if any, if. My condolences. Mainstream warning. His story was picked up by major news outlets, bridging the gap between niche gaming communities and national public health discussions during a global crisis. The Community Shield, by pleading with his followers to prioritize their safety, he transitioned from an entertainer to a guardian, effectively using his reach to potentially save many lives. Hardcore mode, real life edition, spent his final moments trying to buff everyone else's survival stats, reminding his community that, quote, "This is no joke," end quote, as he fought to show the true severity of the disease of COVID-19. Now, I know those are sensitive subjects, and the Technoblade and Basherverse situation were Minecrafters. We're going for other content creators that are just as influential, I dare say. So, moving from those who fought physical illness, we look to the titans who changed the very culture of the internet. Creators honored today by massive community murals and tributes within the games they championed. Etika and TotalBiscuit, the architects of culture. These creators didn't just play games, they built the moral and emotional infrastructure of the modern YouTube landscape. Honored today by massive community murals in Brooklyn and tributes within the games they champion. The pulse of the Joy-Con boys. Desmond, quote, Etika, end quote, Mofa's electric energy and tragic passing in June 2019 forced a global industry-wide reckoning regarding creator mental health and community support. So not only were people sick with cancer or with COVID-19, but there's some illnesses that you can't even tell because it's all inside and you can't really tell until bad things happen, unfortunately. The Mural of Brooklyn, a 40-foot mural in Bushwick, stands as a physical monument to his life, eventually becoming an official Pokestop in Pokemon Go, bridging his digital and physical worlds. The final boss of integrity. John, quote, TotalBiscuit, end quote, Bain, set the gold standard for consumer advocacy before his passing in May 2018, ensuring his standards for transparency still govern how we critique games. The field of view, Legacy, known as, quote, FOV fighter, end quote. His relentless demand for quality resulted in multiple developer homages, including a prominent mention in the credits of Warhammer Space Marine 2. Ghost modding, the meta. They aren't here to enforce the rules anymore, but we carry on their wish to make the internet a better place, even if they, quote, couldn't stay a little longer, end quote. These architects shaped the internet we navigate today, but sometimes a legacy is so powerful that even the developers themselves carve a permanent space for it within the game's code. Closing it off with Rick May, the voice in the statue. Rick May's voice became the literal heartbeat of a generation. If you don't know, it's the soldier, the one that said, Maggot. You know the videos, Meet the Soldier, TF2. There's a lot more. Another one would be the voice for John 117 from the Halo universe, or Cortana, but these are not about them. Maybe in another episode. But let me continue before I drift off, Okay, where was I? Heartbeat of a generation. A performance so iconic that Valve broke its own conventions to place a permanent, quote, salute, end quote, statues across Team Fortress 2 in his honor. The voice of the soldier in TF2, or Team Fortress 2, Rick May, became a foundational figure for millions of players worldwide, providing the soundtrack of their victories. Breaking the code. Following his death in April 2020, Valve honored him by placing permanent statues within the game's maps, a rare and profound gesture of digital respect, the digital remembrance. Every April, these statues reappear as a, quote, seasonal, end quote, tribute, accompanied by the soldiers' voice lines, turning a virtual space into a recurring memorial service. A legacy in voice. His performance set a standard for character acting in games, influencing the industry to treat voice talent not just as a tool, but as the soul of the experience. Kinda like podcasting, I dare say, but even better, I dare say. Camping the objective forever. He didn't just leave the game. He secured the point for all of us and stayed, leaving behind the only tribute that fits. Quote, "You were good, son, real good, maybe even the best," end quote. These creators didn't just leave behind a library of videos. They left a blueprint for how to build a world out of nothing but a headset and a sense of humor. Damn, better than me, I dare say right now. But that's just me, getting better, I'm trying. They might have logged off for the final time, but their influence is now part of the foundational code for every community they touched, and every person who felt a little less alone because of their voice. I hear from you, dear listener, whose story helped you find your own, quote, extra life, end quote, when things got heavy. Leave a memory in the comments, or just drop a heart for the legends we've lost. Let's make this space a digital monument for the ones who paved the way. If this session hit home, please share this episode. It's the best way to ensure these legacies continue to reach new players across the globe. This show is a true labor of love. So, if you'd like to help keep the lights on and the mics hot, you can support your boy by supporting the show with a cup of coffee and maybe leaving a follow, maybe giving me 5 stars, a like. You already know, on whichever platform you're hearing this podcast. Once again, I'm yours truly, Marcos Lopez, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay frosty, everyone.